Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to have videos of the paid requests. This time for Guillermo. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Links are in the info box wherever it is this week on YouTube. But Guillermo wanted me to look into Dawn of the Beast, a 2021 film which I never heard of. And after watching it, I can see why, because it gets a 4.1 on IMDb, which I think it deserves. And the premise of the film is you have this guy with his girlfriend, and there's something to do with a necklace, and his girlfriend gets dragged away. He's wondering what the hell's going on. You cut to 10 years later. You have a group of people who are seeking Bigfoot. And this is one of those movies that it takes a while for it to get going. And the characters really aren't much to talk about. The lead guy, he wears glasses and he's a bit nerdy, and he'll do jokes like, "How did the snowman feel when he got the flu?" Abominable. Because abominable snowman, they're looking for Bigfoot. But that's the point, is that he's supposed to be awkward, so he tells awkward, unfunny jokes, and that's the point, because people look at him and go, okay, let's go. That's that type of thing. But the acting is mediocre. That's me being kind. And the other characters, you have, like I said, that lead guy who's just awkward and somewhat nerdy. But the type of nerd that would be like a catalog selling sweaters or t-shirts. I'm so nerdy. I got glasses, but I got, six pack. And, or at least he'll be on the CW. When the CW was around. But just bland characters. You have his girlfriend. You have the one guy who's black. I say that because there's really no other person. There's nothing else he has to him other. He's black. And then you have this other guy, and you have this other woman, and then you have this professor guy. But I said you don't really get much into them in terms of characters, in terms of motivations, in terms of really much of anything about them. The guy from the beginning of the film is 10 years later. He's older. He wears an eye patch, and he's a pretty shifty character. As they're on their journey, some of them find this corpse. They find a damn corpse. That is, because of how little skin there is, among other stuff, they realize it's probably 8 to 10 years old. But some go, we should tell someone, no, let's not report this. What? There's no rush to report this. That's the line. There's no rush to report this. Listen, we gotta do this. We rarely get to do these field trips to go find Bigfoot. And don't tell the lead guy. Don't tell the guy with the glasses. Don't tell him and others. Let's just go on, and we'll do it when we get back. And the two, granted, they did ask a question, but they didn't really argue too much about the point. They didn't really put up much of a fight. And maybe go, well, you guys are dumb. You guys are idiots. You guys suck. Like this person, they have a family that, hey, person went missing. God forbid, they get a little bit of peace of mind so you can enjoy your damn Bigfoot trip, you asshats. So, screw all you guys and gals. So they get to this cabin and they talk about nothing, and the lead guy finds his book called Forest Unseen, which has a lot of doodles and drawings and stuff. For a second, I'm like, is this a Slender Man with his pages? The guy's girlfriend and his professor, they go out into a car, they're driving. Something happens. The professor gets possessed for a bit. At least what it seems like. And the girl crashes the car. But then when they wake up, something takes the professor's neck, rips it. The girl tries to escape. She's lifted, and it looks like her neck's broken. But then later on, she's off walking by in a daze. So it's like he's trying to do a little bit of Evil Dead. Because when people possess, they're trying to act a little bit like Deadites. And I'll just cut to the chase. Spoilers. The big thing of the plot is that there are two creatures out here. There is a Bigfoot, but there's also a Wendigo. And I'm going to jump to the finale. You find out Bigfoot is the good guy, and the Wendigo, who can have an army of creatures, they're the bad guys. And there's a fight, kind of. Well, yes and no. But you have to wait for that for like the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And I thought there's the movie was pretty boring a lot of the time, and you don't really have characters that you latch on to. The gore, for the most part, is fairly minimal. The creature effects at times look pretty neat, more so the Wendigo side. The Bigfoot, I appreciate the practical effects. Granted, Bigfoot, he kind of looks like... If you ever seen the Hammer horror film Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell, that kind of furry creature, Bigfoot kind of looks like him. So however you feel about that kind of design, I still think the better Bigfoots are Harry and the Hendersons for good and Abominable for evil. But, it's decent practical effects. The creatures, the Wendigo, like people who have changed or whatever the case, not bad makeup effects. The Wendigo itself, this kind of the silhouette with a deer outline, I actually didn't mind that look. It kind of reminded me of... There's this guy named Dante Tomaselli who used to do horror films, and he did a movie called... I think it was called Horror. If it's not, I forget what the title was. But the cover had this deer-like creature that... Was that about? I forgot this plot of that movie, so maybe it was about Wendigo. Maybe not, I don't know. I don't remember, but... Not the same, but similar. I like the look of it. I'll put it that way. I didn't mind the look of the Wendigo. Might not have been, pristine makeup effects like some of the others, but, I didn't mind the look and design of it. Maybe it's just me trying to find chicken salad in the heap of chicken shit. But, like, the stuff with Bigfoot, I don't think was really properly explained at all. It's kind of Bigfoot just pops up every once in a while and does weird things. Like, our lead guy's out there taking a whiz, and Bigfoot just drags him, but then leaves him pinned under a log, which I'm sitting there going, why did he do that? Why did he drag the guy? Why did he leave him pinned under a log? Why did he not kill the guy if he's not evil? Oh, he's not evil? He's looking for Wendigo? Well, the guy's clearly not Wendigo, so why did Bigfoot do any of that? I don't know. Eye Patch Guy, who's the guy from 10 years earlier, he takes the other lady, not the girlfriend, but the other lady, knocks her out, puts her somewhere as bait for Bigfoot, but the guy doesn't realize it's not Bigfoot doing the killing, it's something else. And so that guy gets killed. She frees herself and she escapes. The lady, which I thought was weird because we see that the girlfriend, I know I'm confusing people. The one girl, she's tied up, she escapes while these Wendigo creatures are coming after her. The girlfriend, we saw that earlier with the professor, she was lifted and her neck was broken, but she's not dead, but she's possessed, but she's acting not possessed right now, instead she's acting scared. And it does the whole thing where she's looking at footage of herself and she turns, but of course we see that the footage has a life of its own and is like smirking at her. You've seen that done 100 times in movies where again they're watching video footage and they turn and the video footage is doing something else without them knowing, but we know it. Again, stuff you've seen dozens of times. And then trying to be a deadite, fully possessed, starts pop locking, kills the black dude. And it's like trying to be a wannabe Evil Dead, and you have these bald Wendigo followers chasing after the characters. And few people get killed. All that's left is the lead guy and the girl that had escaped and got back to the house. A premise about cat and mouse, while the creatures are stalking around the inner workings of the house. So they hide in the closet, do this and that. They make a run for it. The lady, spoilers. The lady gets her arm torn off. She dies. It's just the guy left. And he's like, come and get me. And then Bigfoot comes out, just walks past him. So Bigfoot's a good guy. Now, I think they tried to explain this in the writing in the book, Forest Unseen. But to be honest, I still didn't quite gather what Bigfoot has to do with the Wendigo. And like you see pictures in the book. I remember reading somewhere that apparently this is a sequel to 2 other movies that I don't know if the guy worked on. I don't know if that's the case. I should look that up real quick. I'm like, oh yeah, this is the matchup people wanted. You know what? At the beginning, I could have summed this up in less than 2 minutes. If you want to see a movie where Bigfoot fights a bunch of the bald creature followers of Wendigo to the tune of dubstep, if you want to do that, this is your movie. And it like throws them into the tree and they bounce off, or stomps on one, impales one, but it's done in a herky-jerky fashion, and it's like with the edits very quickly, so you could barely tell what the hell is happening. So I don't even know if you would get satisfaction from that scene. Plus, why is it dubstep? Like, of all the music, like, that's what you think of a Bigfoot fighting Wendigo's creatures? It's doom, 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 doom. I'm ready for Blade to come out and kill some motherfucking vampires. Yeah, so this might be a sequel to Monstrous in the Retreat. Which I guess Monstrous Bigfoot was a bad guy, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. In the Retreat, yeah, the poster has the creature, and that's what the followers look like. Which I don't know if I can show it on there. Yeah, that's not popping the best, but that's what they look like. They're kind of look like Chud. So that's the bald followers. And then this is... The face is a little bit different in the movie I saw. And then, well... Even, I mean, that isn't really what Bigfoot looks like. Especially not the teeth, so... Bit misleading. 4.1, 4.3, 3.8. So you tell this is a very accomplished, well-received director. Like, this is what the buildup was for. Bigfoot to fight a couple bald, those creatures, throwing them in the trees, just impaling one of them. to it being very heavily edited, so you can't see what's going on that well. And the soundtrack, the dubstep, is very inappropriate. It doesn't fit. It makes you laugh more than anything. Like, that's the music? That's the reaction. They go, that's the music you have? Like, that's what people would be like, really? So, yeah, it didn't work. The quote Hulk Hogan didn't work for me, brother. Just didn't work for me. It's very boring, lousy, forgettable movie with bland characters and direction maybe so at best. And you don't even have Bigfoot fight the Wendigo. You don't even have that. Like the deer spirit creature thing, Bigfoot never fights that thing. And what is really the connection between the two, other than seeing a couple bits in a book that I don't think was properly explained? And what's more of the connection? Is there a hit? What's the big history behind them? And does Bigfoot do this every year? And or is it his job? Does he get paid with peanuts or walnuts or someone's nuts in his mouth because he likes it that way? Or maybe he don't like it that way? Or when they go kill his family and there's like, if Liam Neeson was a Bigfoot, he's going to take revenge and I revenge you, I will kill you. You know, give me more, give me something, give me fuel, give me fire, give me what I desire. You know, something, man. And I'm like, what the fuck? So it kills a couple of the followers. And then the Wendigo's like, screw it, and just leaves. He just leaves. And so the guy, our lead, didn't kill any of them. He just walks away. There's his girlfriend who's possessed. I guess that's why they couldn't kill the Wendigo or even have a fight, because this girl's still possessed. Something about selfishness leads you to being overtaken by the Wendigo. I know there's something about that. The lead guy fights her and kills her with throwing a match and some really, really, really awful CGI fire. Awful, man. And, oh, that guy, the possessed eye patch, he's possessed. He gives a big old James Bond monologue. And the lead guy just cuts his head off. Just picked up by a truck and leaves. So Bigfoot left, and he don't care about the humans. So if this, which I'm like, well, why did you drag the lead guy that one time and put him under a log? I don't know why. I don't think the movie ever explains that. The lead guy, his acting was, again, I thought mediocre. The rest of the cast were very bland and forgettable. Again, minimal gore. Even when Bigfoot's killing the creatures, it's just they fly back, they hit a tree, stomp, you see a little bit, but I think at one point it breaks one's neck. But really, like, go for broke. Like, okay, save this for the end. We don't need these creatures anymore. Well, if they only have one, you can't destroy it. Otherwise, well, I think they have more than one. It looked like they had more than one. But I don't know, just tear the arms off, rip its head off, take the jaw and rip it off, gouge the eyes, or gouge the eyes and then tear it, in half. Do some more with that, and don't shoot it in such a heavily edited, and have better music than dubstep. What the hell is dubstep crap? Don't even like dubstep, except in Blade. There's maybe one or two other exceptions, but very rarely. But anyway, it sucks in my opinion. There's decent Bigfoot films out there. I mean, I liked Abominable. It's found footage, but I liked It Exists. Granted, it's not as bad as Bigfoot County. So it's not the worst. Trust me, it's not the worst Bigfoot film. Far, far from it. I think Bigfoot County is way worse. That one that had Cool Duder in it, that's way worse. Assault of the Sasquatch. Even some of the ones like, I don't know. There's a lot of bad ones. So at least the Wendigo element made it a little bit more interesting compared to some other Bigfoot stories. And I said the Wendigo followers and the creature itself, I didn't mind the look of them for a low budget movie. But again, it just takes too long for it to get going. And you don't really have dialogue or characters that really keep you intrigued until the stuff happens. Again, the connection between Bigfoot and Wendigo could maybe be interesting. Let's delve more into that. But we don't. So, that's just my thoughts on it. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye bye for now.